Mustang Week 2021 has come and gone. The Steeda team had a blast. It was great to see all of our customers, make some new friends, see some old friends. That's what Mustang Week's all about. We had the opportunity to catch up with multiple people and interview about their cars, their experience with Steeda, the parts, and everything in between. So follow along so you can check out these interviews for yourself. Let's dive in. Alrighty, what you've all been waiting for, Joanna and her beautiful 2018 Whipple Supercharged street car, right?
Street car. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the car.
It's a 2018. I got it in August of 18. It got a 3.0 Whipple within 3 months of owning it.
Nice.
It did, I want to say it did 970 right off the trailer, first pass. Then we kind of turned it up, went on Ignite, and I sat at 9.0 for about a year. We had to go through breaking parts. And then this year I just did a 875 in it.
Awesome, awesome. So what kind of suspension you're running? I gotta ask.
All Steeda.
Awesome.
My favorite. It's been fantastic.
So, tell us a little bit about your experience. I know that you've snapped a few drive shafts on this thing. There was a lot of trial and error and learning in the process. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
So in my experience, my dad has a shop, but the S550 and making the S550s fast is not something he had done yet. He threw a lot of Whipples on them, but never like fast. Not like his S197. So
right.
It was a learning curve for Brian and I and my dad to try to figure out what the heck was going on. Being a third gen, being a 10R80, just so many new things that we had to learn all at once. So we immediately put a CCI driveline, which is local to us, so that's why we wanted to work with them, drive shaft in the car, and it was fantastic. Lasted the first year, then it had some issues and ended up splitting. The next year was when it just spiraled into having a bunch of issues. So we broke 2 stock ones, which we expected.
Right.
We would put, and you're thinking, why do you put the stock one even back in? We had the stock one just to be able to cruise in it, and we were like, oh, it'll make it one time at the track. And that's what it did. It made it one time at the track. And then the Woodward Dream Cruise happened, so we wanted to be able to just drive the car to cruise. Again, left it in, and that's when it lasted at the track. And then we had a manufacturer defected one. They fixed it for us, then it had another issue, and I was like, okay, I'm done with that. So it was just on and off of breaking things. And then the diff broke, and the diff broke one of them, which the diff breaking is kind of common when you get to that amount of power with these cars. And how much we just beat the ever-living crap out of it. Like, I think I did 500 passes last year.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really, everyone's like, oh, you guys break the weirdest stuff. I was like, but who beats on it as much as I do?
Yeah.
Drive it a lot and take care of it. And it was definitely a learning curve, but this year we went with Carbon QA1.
Okay.
And I just got it back together with some after trans issues 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so we've been trying to pack a whole summer in the last 3 weeks, so it's been...
And you managed to make it out here?
Yes, we did.
So what kind of power levels are we talking about here?
We don't dyno it anymore because it shakes a little bit too much on the dyno. My dad says it's not really safe, so...
That's fair.
So, we had to put like 150 pounds in the trunk and it still was shaking bad. So we only dynoed it to make sure that the injectors were enough.
Right.
With fueling and everything, and it was okay. But if I had to guess, I would say it's probably right at 1100.
Jeez.
If I had to guess.
And what pulley are you down to now?
3.0. And there's still some to go down. So.
Okay, all right.
So it's supported 3.0 now.
Got it.
3.0 Whipple. So it's a 3.0 Whipple and a 3.0 pulley. So a lot of 3. It's funny because it's a 5th gen Whipple on a 3rd gen Coyote, and then the 5.0 and the 3 liter, and it's just a lot of same numbering to remember.
So with those kind of power numbers, that's a lot of power to put through the driveline, as we talked about.
Yeah.
And then getting it down to the ground. What kind of short times are you pulling at the track?
Like 8th mile?
Yeah, or just 60 foot. Yeah.
60 foot. It's the best I've done is a 129, and I think that it has potential to go down.
Oh, for sure.
Playing with the shocks and suspension and tweaking and modifying, I think it'll definitely do. My goal for this year will be a 124.
Now, am I allowed to talk about weight?
Yeah, you can talk about weight.
Okay, so what are we weighing at right now?
I don't know exactly. So we weighed it here in Michigan, and it was like 3,900. 39. And then we went to Oklahoma, and they weighed, because a lot of tracks don't have the weights on or the scales on. And we went down to Oklahoma, and it was like 3,950, which I know some of them. With driver.
Okay.
So I know they're off a little bit. So the goal would be to get it down to like 37 with me in it. But you just, you know, when you get the car, it's a premium car, which I know I messed up by buying a premium car, but
It's still a street car.
Yeah, I didn't really think we'd get to this point, but you know, the blower adds 100, the ice tank full adds quite a bit, the cage adds quite a bit, so you're just basically pulling back out what we added. But so no rear seat anymore. We take the passenger seat out, but we leave it for like dream cruise and cruising and stuff like that. Any little system underneath that we don't use anymore, took out. We tried to, be nice to get down to this car's weight, but I think we'll have to be gutting a lot more. I'm not ready to get to that point, you know.
I mean, the fact that's NA versus, you know, supercharged, there's a lot of weight
That's
involved
true,
with this.
and no cage. And
Yeah.
So.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't either.
Hey, safety's important, and I mean, at the end of the day, when you're putting down those kind of power numbers in a street car that weighs 3,900 pounds, and you're still running, you know, mid to high eights, it's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, people ask me all the time, like, or I was told I was gonna hate the car with the cage, and it's just different though, because I grew up that way. My dad had the cage in the yellow car, the yellow Fox, and he would drop me off at school, pick me up from soccer games, and so to me, I'm like, this isn't any different. It doesn't make it right, but I knew it, you know, I'm not getting over it, and being klutzy is not, I'm used to it, you know, I've been doing it since I was a kid, but the parachute on it's been different. But I mean, I drive it around all the time. This is the second summer with the parachute on it. I got pulled over, knock on something. I've only been pulled over once in this car, and I got a wrong address ticket of all things. And the police officer was like, didn't say anything about the car, nothing. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So I don't know. I mean, I've been behind cops. I mean, as long as the plate's registered and you're not speeding, I'm sure they're not. What do they have to pull you over for?
Hey,
I've had cops come up and talk to us when we do photo shoots, and this one officer was super cool. He was like, "What are you trapping with that parachute?" So he must have knew a little bit about it. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, no, I mean, I haven't had any problems on the street with it, and ran out of gas here and there. It's just because it's, you know, it says you have a half a tank, but it's just 6 miles to the gallon.
Oh yeah.
So you don't really know what you have sometimes. So.
Say full throttle, right?
Yeah, happens.
So you said, you know, right in the passenger seat like that in the Fox body. It sounds like your family's been into this for a long time.
You could say that. My parents met in their Mustangs, and then they opened their performance shop, and then they had me.
That's
so
awesome.
I've been around this forever. I always joke that my mom's Fox is like the older sibling I don't have, because it's just always been there. You know, I don't know any other way. So during the years, like my parents have always had that car. My mom bought it new in '88. So they've always had that. And then throughout the years, like my dad will get something new every generation to work on for the shop. So he has had an SN, Mach 1, a couple 3 valves. Then he had his 11 Coyote until like 2 months ago.
Right, to get the new GT500, right?
Yep, he's got the GT500. And then he started working on GM and Dodge, so he's had like a G8, Hellcat, and stuff like that. So we've been around cars forever. I try to tell people I'm a enthusiast, not a purist. But I went back to having a Mustang, so I seem like a purist because I had the CTSV for a little while.
Oh, that's right.
So I had a Mustang, I had a 3-valve CTSV, and then I went back to this. My heart lies with Mustang, but like I'd love to have a Z06. Like I really want an E36 M3. Like I just love cars.
Looking, yeah.
There's something about them. I want to have this to meet my goals, and I want a fun stick car. I want a drift car. That's why we don't have kids, so I can afford all this.
So what's next for this thing?
I try not to set like number goals because I don't want to have like an expectation and be bummed out every time I go to the track. But as the season starts being cooler, if we could get into the 850, 840s, that would be where I would love to be. Because when I did the 870, it was 3300 DA, which I'm sure someone from like Colorado will give me a hard time. They'll be like, I wish I had 3300. But I mean, we're used to 0 in the fall, so we'll probably go to Maryland, or even if we get a couple nice weekends in October by us, it's good weather, good air, really good air.
And you also have Mod Nationals too.
That's
this
true.
Fall. Yeah,
I think we're gonna try to make it to that, and we're going to Virginia next month, so we'll get good air around us somewhere. So yeah, if it could do an 840, pulling a little bit of weight and a little better air, I'd be happy. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for your support.
Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you here, and we're excited to continue working with you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed that interview. Go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think of their ride, the parts they chose for their build, and ultimately what they should do next. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, that notification bell, to get a notification on your phone next time a Steeda video drops. And don't forget the most important thing, speed matters.